everyone, and welcome to the next episode of Midlife Chapters. As I'm making this bouquet, there were at least 1,000 different thoughts going through my head, but I just picked one, something that is of relevance to me, something that I'm going through right now, and I thought that I'd share that with you, and perhaps this is something that you can relate to as well. We have in the past talked a lot about the need to reach out, the need to be honest, the need to be authentic. But what if after reaching out, after being honest, authentic, full of love, on the other side, there's no real movement? What happens then? And I thought that this is something that is a logical next step for us to talk about in this episode, because this is a very specific moment that just doesn't get talked about enough. So we kind of assume that when we open our heart and we are true to ourselves and we act from this integrity part, that it is going to land on the other side. But what if it doesn't? What if the moment after you have opened your heart, nothing happens? You've been honest, you've reached out, you've said what it truly feels, and on the other side there is nothing. Not conflict, not rejection, just a kind of a weird silence or something polite, but without any depth. And what's left is a feeling that's kind of hard to name. It's not dramatic, it's not broken, but it is unresolved. And this creates a very particular internal space. It's a kind of exposure without the closure. You've opened something and you thought that this is going to be met on the other side when you are in interaction with somebody else. But it hasn't. And immediately what our human brain does is that it tries to make sense of this, right? So the mind immediately wants to do something, wants to fix it, wants to understand it, wants to explain it, or even wants to close it again. And this is where it becomes uncomfortable, because we are not used to staying in open spaces like that, places where we have been vulnerable, places where we have exposed ourselves in a way through our thoughts and actions, and it had no place to land on the other side. We are so used to resolution, to clarity, to knowing where we stand, that when that doesn't happen, something inside us starts to contract. So this is when we start to replay the incident or the conversation, and we replay, and then we start to question every single thing and try to analyze from every single point of view. And sometimes we just withdraw and we develop a pattern where we say, well, this was unsafe, this was not a great thing, don't do this ever again. And this is where I want to show you something. There is another way to meet this moment. It's not by doing more, it is not by retreating, it is not by rushing in, rushing out, but just allowing the space to stay open. And I know this is hard, and I know this is exceedingly challenging, because in a moment where you want to have an action and you want to take an action, you want to do something, what I'm asking you is don't. It is not a question of not doing anything. It is a question of allowing a space to breathe. Because what is going to happen is you are going to get clarity, but the clarity is not going to come from your action. It's going to become visible afterwards. It's when you stop trying to move it forward that you really see what is there really. And this is a completely different kind of emotional maturity. It's not about reacting immediately. It's not about fixing. It's not about closing the loop too quickly, but staying present with what is unresolved. And this is the kind of space I find myself holding more and more actually in my work, where nothing needs to be rushed, but everything becomes clearer. It's hard. It's very hard. It is probably one of the hardest things to do. But let me tell you something, that if you find yourself in a moment like this, where something has been opened but not met, there's nothing wrong with you. You don't need to fix it. You don't need to jump in. You don't need to close any gap. You don't need to do anything, because all that you're doing is observing, and things are going to get clearer the more you can observe. And sometimes this space is exactly where the next layer of clarity begins. Your next chapter starts now.